Hello everyone, Atrum here, and welcome to Battle for Zendikar. So this is a draft. I didn't really get to do much in the way of pre-release events, just simply due to the fact that I was at GP Medicine. Interesting. So there's a number of good cards here. If we want to do like the Converge theme, we have the Skyrider Elf. Wind Rider Patrol's really good. I'm a big fan of the Eldrazi Sky Spawner. I mean, it's just strictly better Windrake, pretty much. There's Incubator Drone, which is fine, but I prefer the Sky Spawner over it. There's a Ruin Processor, some lands. This rare is not really worth picking up. It's really quite meh for its cost. So let's just take a Sky Spawner. So the Eldrazi generally come in 3 or 4 flavors. There's Grixis is like the main thing that I see Eldrazi-wise, but I also have seen it as Bug. Basically, Eldrazi are blue-black plus a color. Okay, so there's a Gruesome Slaughter there, but that really is... It's not a good card overall, I believe. Looking at this, I see a Titan's Presence, which is a solid removal spell if you have any Eldrazi basically in your hand. There's also an Oracle of Dust, which is really good. I think I'd rather take the Titan's Presence over the Oracle of Dust. Retreat to Kazandu is pretty decent. This is the second Skyrider Elf we're passing on, so we should know that blue-green is probably not going to be in the cards for us, so to speak. But we'll take a Titan's Presence. There's a Void Attendant. Okay. I see a Merc Strider, though, which is pretty solid. There's also, like, a Sludge Crawler and an Eldrazi Devastator. If I want to get some ingest going, Sludge Crawler is a pretty solid one. Merc Strider kind of requires you to have some ingest somewhere. Tightening Coils also should not be overlooked. That is a very solid removal spell in this format. And I think it's actually probably what I'm going to just pick up here. Definitely should not overlook Tightening Coils. Just the ability just to make your opponents suddenly have a wall instead of anything else is just really good. Alright. So we'll have to figure out where we're going from here exactly, but green, I'm pretty certain I've passed enough green that I'd get screwed in pack 2 on it. So I'm probably just going to grab this Benthic Infiltrator, which is perfectly fine by me. The Rot Shambler there's, again, a sign that the guy passing to me is not in green, but Benthic Infiltrator is a very good card too, and I think it's what I want to grab here. Anticipate is a solid card too, and there's another Tightening Coils. And there's an Eldrazi Devastator, but I think I want actually another Tightening Coils. Just the removal in this format's quite underwhelming usually, and Tightening Coils is actually very effective for its cost. There's a Blighted Cataract, which is a nice one for late game. There's some green cards, and yeah, I think I'm just going to grab the land. Just the fact that you can turn late game land into cards is a really good thing to have, and I think it's what I'd like to have here, so seems fine. So far, we've basically just grabbed some blue stuff and some Eldrazi. We don't really have anything big for our Titan's Presence to work with, but we have the double Tightening Coils, which is really nice. And there's still plenty of time to find big Eldrazi. I'm going to grab a Rush of Ice here, just because Awaken spells are really good too. So, plus, when you're doing your creature count, you can generally count Awaken spells as a creature. You just have to also remember that it's basically just an expensive vanilla creature, but I guess it's moreover actually at that point it's an expensive creature with an enter the battlefield effect of whatever the card was. Kind of, sort of. I don't know. Depends on how you want to look at it. I'm going to grab this Undo Greathorn and just stick it in my sideboard. Don't know, maybe I can go blue-white with some Eldrazi sub-theming going on here. Anything is really possible. So, never really know. Yeah, this could work out pretty well so far. Looks alright. Be interesting to see what wheels. If those Sky Elves wheel, then I'm definitely going to jump on the blue-green train, but I don't think they're going to wheel. I'll take a Skyline and Cascade, though. That's perfectly fine. But I'm pretty certain someone's probably picked up on the blue-green trail by now. Or at least on the green portion of the blue-green trail, because I've been picking up on a lot of the good blue cards. Oh, yeah, Oracle of Dust is fine. Gives me something slightly bigger than 2 power to use with Titan's Presence. 3. But, you know, whatever. Okay, there's an Eldrazi Devastator. I'm perfectly fine to take one of those. I don't usually ever want more than one Eldrazi Devastator, but a single Eldrazi Devastator is fine. I'm going to stick in Earthen Arms in my sideboard. I mean, I suppose 2 is fine. It's better than Goblin Warpaint. Or I just grab the land? I don't even know. Eldrazi Devastator. Earthen Arms again. And a Brilliant Spectrum. Alright. So far we have 8 non-land cards from pack 1 that we are looking at playing. And we just gotta figure out where we go from here. Okay, so there's a Canopy Vista, which is a fine card. For constructed purposes, for this deck, it really doesn't do a whole heck of a lot for me. There's an Incubator Drone, which is nice. There's also Sheer Drop, which, if I go blue-white, which is a very non-traditional color set in this, because I'm basically combining Eldrazi with the main ally color, but I actually like Sheer Drop a lot. Okay, so there's a Dominator Drone, a Benthic Infiltrator. I'm not in the allies, otherwise I'd definitely look at getting this core Blade Whirl. So really it's looking at Salvage Drone or Benthic Infiltrator here. I think I just want another Benthic Infiltrator. Just keep it with the evasive, powerful guys, and I think it's a good way to go. So I'm going to go for that. Okay, so here we have a Horribly Awry, Rolling Thunder, or another Tightening Coils. Rolling Thunder is going to be my pick here. Even though it's not on color with anything that I've picked up so far, Rolling Thunder is an insane card. It warps the format, just like it did back in Tempest. It doesn't warp it quite as hard as it did in Tempest, but it still is just an insane card, and I'm going to grab it. Because, yeah, there's no easy way to explain just how powerful Rolling Thunder is in this format without seeing it played. So, you know, we're just taking it. With this pack, I think I'm going to grab the Evolving Wilds here. Just good to have some fixing. Okay. We can grab Clutch of Currents. Or maybe I just grab like this Fire Mantle Mage and go like with a blue-red. Even though I don't really have allies, still just that guy with his enter effect going, oh, by the way, all my guys have Menace for a turn, is really good. Like, really good. Clutch of Currents is a very good spell too, don't get me wrong, but since I grabbed a Rolling Thunder, it's kind of warping what I'm looking at here and saying, alright, red's a good color to go now. The moment there's one of those, you just go, oh yeah. So with this, I'm gonna pick up a Clutch of Currents here. And right now I'm looking at maybe shifting that guy to there. I found this format is an 18 land format for almost all decks. The only deck that can get away with not being 18 lands is the Allies deck, and it has to have a very tight curve for the Allies deck, like curve out at 5 max. But most of the decks in this format are going to be 18 land decks. So that's something to definitely keep in mind. Titan's Presence will be an interesting one in this deck. Don't know if it's actually going to be any good or not, but we'll see. We shall see. Retreat to Hagra. If I wanted to go Grixis, that is an option. Or if I keep with the Jeskai that I currently got going on, I can grab Smite. At which point, under Greatheart, you're going to come right back in, because you're actually a pretty good creature. So, I think this is looking fine so far. It's kind of got this strange little, like, oh, I was like nearly mono blue, and now I'm picking up good cards in other colors, and just kind of rolling with it. But, you know, that kind of happens. Should be interesting. Should be interesting. Alright, so we can either grab another Blighted Cataract, which is interesting, or we can actually grab one of the better removal spells in this format, which is Gideon's Reproach. And yeah, we'll just take one of the better removal spells from the format. Gideon's Reproach is a pretty nuttily powerful removal spell in this. So here's a choice. I can either grab a Rune Processor, or I can grab a Valakut Invoker. I only have 2 cards that currently exile things, but I think I do want the Rune Processor just to give me another high-powered Eldrazi to use with Titan's Presence. So, well, this core Blade World could be workable, I suppose. Surprised it came back. Whoa, Titan Coils came back? What's going on here? We've got like all this blue removal. It's confusing as all get out. This guy's not an ally, is he? No, he's just... Meh. Stick him in the sideboard. Okay, Ghost of Sentinel's playable. Throw a Territorial Bailoff in the sideboard and grab a land. Alright. So far this is interesting. We got 20 cards. We got this little random mix of allies and Eldrazi. By allies and Eldrazi, I mean 2 allies and a bunch of Eldrazi. But that's neither here nor there. Prairie Stream, which is really good for us. Or another Rolling Thunder. Whoa. I need to do some research here. How much is the Prairie Stream currently going for? Prairie Stream. Sorry everyone, I have to figure this one out. That is 6 tickets. 6.5 tickets. And it's needed for a deck I want to build. That is so awkward. Do I take 2 Rolling Thunders? Or do I take the Prairie Stream? The Prairie Stream actually helps on my mana too. So, I'm going to take the Prairie Stream. Not just because I want the card, which I do want the card, I'm not going to lie. But also because it helps fix a lot of my mana here. And I really want the card. I won't lie. Come on now, why bother? Coastal Discovery is an excellent card for us here. We can never use Prism Array, like, ever. But I could grab another Smite. Yeah, because I can never use the Scry 3 portion of Prism Array. It's just not happening. But a Smite the Monsters is perfectly fine. Brutal Expulsion. That is a card I want. Or there's one of these to give all my guys double strike. Gives me a 3rd ally. Yeah, I don't need that. I'd rather take a Brutal Expulsion. Okay, there's a Nettle Drone here, which is pretty good. How many color spells do we have? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Only 8? Really? That's awkward. Still think it's the right call. just awkward. Oh well. Okay, so here we have a choice. Anticipate, Incubator Drone, Ondu Greathorn. Actually, the Angel Renewal is really good too. Gaining a life for each creature you control can just be insanely nutty in this. So which is better first? Like a 4/4 flyer for 6 that gains us a bunch of life, probably. Or like a card selection spell. I think it's this gonna just be this 4/4 flyer. Another sheer drop seems really good for us. Okay, I'm fine with the Coralheim Guide. Probably I'm going to cut some of this top end stuff. Like this Titan's Presence is looking worse and worse. I'm gonna grab another Tightening Coil. So I'm just gonna have like all these Tightening Coils. So I'm gonna probably cut that. I'm gonna cut that big guy. And that way my curve kind of is a little bit sleeker. I'm going to keep this guy just because of the gain 5 effect, and I am going to be processing probably a few things, maybe? I mean, I have 3 ways to exile stuff right now. Although I have the Oracle, actually, so maybe I'd rather have this big guy over that big guy. Yeah, I think that's what I'd rather have. And now we get another Coralheim Guide, Coralhelm Guide, which is really good for us because it's an ally, so it triggers Blade Whirl and Fire Mantle Mage, and it just also randomly can be just, oh, my Eldrazi Devastator is unblockable, or even just this Ondu Greathorn is unblockable. Seems good. So we've definitely kind of slimmed down, or figured out kind of where we are color-wise, and it's definitely blue-white with this red splash for our Rolling Thunder. I want a Felidar Cub at this point then. I'm going to have to make a lot of cuts, obviously, because I need to get down to 22 non-land cards. But this is giving me a lot of options, which is a good thing. So, and options are always a good thing to have. I don't know where I'm going to make the cuts at. Probably going to be some number of Tightening Coils. Even though Tightening Coils is a really good card. It's awkward. Okay, and Anticipate's actually a card that I probably want in this deck. Because it'll be good to help me find my mana. Sure, I'll take a Mountain. Why not? I'll take a Forest. Why not? Just start grabbing lands at the end when you don't need anything else. And I really don't need that. Alright, so this is interesting. So I'm going to have to start off by just sorting. I'm going to do sort by color on all that. Or sort by theme. I just want that sorted so that way I can stick stuff here. Okay, so we have to cut 7 cards from this. Alright, we're going to cut 1 or 2 Tightening Coils. I don't know how many yet. Let's look at what our removal is first off. So, and I'm counting tempo spells as removal too. So, because in this, it can actually be quite good. So, but we also have a lot of like actual removal here, which is interesting considering the removal in this format. But yeah, I mean, looking at all this. I think Russia Ice is much weaker than Clutch, and I probably don't need it. Dang, this is actually quite a decent removal suite. Can probably cut another Tightening Coils. I have 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 creatures, counting Awakened spells as creatures. Okay, how many colorless spells do we have for Nettle Drone? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still not a bad card. Probably don't need the Felidar Cub. Do I need the Ghostly Sentinel? Maybe. Maybe not. Probably not. I like having this as my one processor for these two processing, or three processing effects, but, sorry, ingesting effects, just because the ability to draw discard can be very valuable late game. Wow, I have a really good removal suite. I think I'm probably actually gonna cut this Nettle Drone. It's only so-so for me. I mean, it is big, don't get me wrong, but it's only so-so for me. Now I'm going to move all this down so I can see creatures versus non-creatures. So as you can see, I'm actually kind of low on creatures. I have 11, but then I also have, as we've noted, I have 4 awakened spells, so it's kind of like having 15. Kinda. Maybe I actually do want this Nettle Drone back. Just cut like the Anticipate because it's good, but it's not needed, I think. Actually, it might still be cut this Nettle Drone. That goes there. Alright, I gotta shift all this to the point where I can actually see it on curve again. Alright, so when you shift all these back up, stop doing auto shifts, Moto. It's bothering me. So, I mean, the curve's fine. I think this could work well. I have a Blighted Cataract, which helps with the flooding portion. I only have, as I said, 11 creatures, but I also have, I guess, 3 additional 6-drop creatures and a 5-drop creature. But I think this should work fine. Now, is that right on the mana? Probably not. Probably a 3 there and a 5 there, but let's just double check this. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so probably 3. I mean, I know we have to hit Rolling Thunder, but we also have the Evolving Wilds. It's probably actually like that. Although we have both of these. I mean, maybe it's just that. Although I do want to hit my whites early enough, so we'll do... Ow. That was loud. We'll do that. And I think I'm going to submit like this, and I'll see you all in round 1.